So far, we have defined what culture is. It is shared products of a group of people. It includes material products, which are tangible items like tools, computers, clothing styles. Culture also includes immaterial items, which are the values of a society, those beliefs of a group of people as to what is determined to be right and wrong, good and bad, desirable and undesirable. In the last session, we focused a little more on the aggregate values and trends of American society. As a review, aggregate refers to collective summary. It is the generalized description of facts. And in the last section, we looked at the aggregate values or norms in which the majority of society holds or shares. Now, in every society, there are these values, those shared beliefs of what is good or bad, right or wrong, desirable or undesirable. And there also are norms. These are the shared rules of conduct that reflect society's values, which are expected of people in society to obey in order for society to run smoothly. However, there are times when social behavior goes against the norm. So, what do you do when that occurs? For example, consider these signs. Based on this, the majority of this particular community holds to the shared value that low hanging pants are not desirable for society. Therefore, they created a law, one of the types of norms or shared rules of conduct, to enforce the value that the majority feels is right, good, and desirable. This is referred to as social control. In today's reading, you are going to be learning about social control and the way in which society seeks to enforce the values and norms that they want for society. So, the main idea is this: norms must be followed for a society to run smoothly, and they are enforced through internalization and sanctions. So, as you're reading, there are two main questions you want to be able to answer. First, how do social norms become internalized? There are many social behaviors that we engage in that we do not even think about. For example, for many people in society today, the very first thing they do when they get into a car is buckle up. Now, this is a good thing. It is desirable. It prevents injuries in the event of an accident. But this has not always been the case. When I was a kid, seatbelts were optional. So, how did we get to the point where we now just do this social behavior without even thinking about it? This is known as internalization, and this is what this question is asking. Secondly, you want to be able to answer this question: what are the differences between positive and negative, and between formal and informal sanctions? You will want to remember these definitions. You also want to be able to analyze different norms in society and be able to apply this concept by determining what kind of sanction do they represent. So this is the way I recommend you take notes on this section. Create a chart like the one below. You will see that along the left hand side you have formal and informal, and across the top you have positive and negative. What you want to do is fill in the boxes with examples of each. For example, the very first box is positive formal sanction. I get that by bringing formal across from the left and positive down. So, what might be an example of a positive formal sanction? Well, one example that maybe you could identify would be making the honor roll or the National Honor Society. It is positive in that it's a reward, and it is formal because it is given out by an official institution which for you would be Agora Cyber Charter School. Go Eagles! Woohoo! Well, now read through this section and try to complete the rest of this chart. Give an example for a formal negative, a positive informal, and a negative informal.